They will never tell you these things because if they did, they will come across as fraudulent and you will be scared of losing your money. So you won't want to buy. Welcome to Real Estate with Bimpe. Today I'm telling you the story behind who a developer is. I'm telling you how he comes to be in possession of land that is going to be selling to you. Now listen to this story. There are large expanses of land in different parts of the country. There is a lot of it in Ekpe, Ibejuleki region. And then potential developers, people who we call developers, they understand the dynamics of how to profit from the land. They see potential in the land. So they approach the owners, who we call omonile. Omonile are not necessarily thieves. They are the people who owned the land before the 1976 land use decree. So he approaches them and says, this your land. Do you want to sell? I want to sell for you. Did you hear that? He didn't say, I want to sell. He didn't say, I want to buy. He said, I want to sell for you. So he's technically a middleman
No
because he doesn't
way!
have the lump cash to pay them for the land. So he enters into an agreement with them. I want to buy, say, just an example, say 15 acres of land. But I have money for 3 acres of land. So let's do a document that says I have 3 acres. I have money for 3 acres. This is the money. From this point, the transaction could go different ways. It could be structured different ways. It could be that I transfer your 3 acres to you so that as you bring more money, I give you more land. Or I give you power of attorney to sell all the land. And as you are selling in so stages, you'll be giving me back the money. Or I give you power of attorney to develop the land, that is to build on it and sell. But one thing you must know that affects the developer's ability to give you ownership of Omonile's land is the kind of title Omonile has. If Omonile's land has been taken over by government, then developer has to first get approval from government before they sell to you. But they don't wait for full approval before they start selling. That's the issue.
What?
If it is under an acquisition, they need to get a release of the land or an excision. They are different things. But anyway, they need to get the land back from the government. They will start the process. Once they have started the process, they will start selling. So at that point, Omonile owns the land. See the technicality. Developer is the one that is processing the release in the name of Omonile. So they have
Wow!
obligations to each other. So it's difficult to walk away from each other. However, there's no actual ownership given to the developer to sell. Do you see the technicality of the document? Do you see the technicality of the arrangement? So when you are asking the developer to give you outright sale or outright purchase for you, it may be difficult because he doesn't have it. But here comes the difference between a sincere developer and an insincere developer. A sincere developer will walk through the title process to a point where he is absolutely sure he will get the land. And if the land is under acquisition and he has to excise the land, the process of him working the release to a point where he's sure he will get it is not a 1 day, it's not a 1 week, it's not a 1 year thing. He will have been on it for a while before he comes to you to say, come and buy. Then he will now begin to sell the land to you. Understand that as he's selling to you, he's also funding the excision or the release that he's trying to process. And he's also paying Omonile for the land. Now, along the way, another faction can come and say they've not gotten anything from what he's paying. Another people can come and say, oh, they are in court on top of the land. All these things are issues that show up. But it's possible for your own developer, the developer selling to you, not to encounter them depending on how much due diligence he has done, depending on who he's talking to. When you are buying from Omonile, you don't talk to one person because one person alone cannot have say on the whole property. Even if he's the bale, there's the minority leader, there's the secretary, there's the youth leader, at least 3 representatives of the community land. So you see, there are different facts, there are different interests, there are different issues to consider. The fact that they say, oh, they are going to give you a contract of sale and it's not a deed of assignment does not mean they don't have the right to sell to you. They could have a power of attorney from the onile. Some oniles have already excised the land themselves. They've paid the money. They've done the process of excising the land themselves. They have the gazette. That one is a bit more expensive because it doesn't have to, the developer does not have to go back to government to get any kind of title. All he's going to begin to do is market. That's if he wants to sell land and not developed house. But if he wants to sell developed house, he will then start the process of developing it into houses or into shells and then selling. Do you see that? It is not every developer transaction that has issues along the way that makes the developer fraudulent or makes your money left fraudulent. Things happen, and for sincere people, they get around to resolving it. However, please note that some developers start out in fraudulent transactions and they don't tell you at all, and they leave it to face risk at the end of the day. Some developers find viable land with no issues and begin to sell, and then they have people oversubscribed because they are not taking note of the portions they have and the portions that people have paid for. Another thing that happens to them is they have people subscribe for 15 acres and they are also moving into 16 and 17 acres. Unknown to them, the family at the back refuses to sell their land. Can you see the issues that cause problem for them? So these issues will guide your questions. They will guide your interactions. They will guide your negotiations. These issues will let you know that the documents they want you to sign, they should let you see them before you pay. They should let you know what you are going to get at the process of paying. If you are going to pay instrumentally, they should let you know what you are going to get at which point of payment, and you should investigate the title and the integrity of the developer very well before you buy. Did you hear me? Investigate the title and the integrity of the developer very well before you buy. In spite of everything, I still hold real estate investment is one of the juiciest ways of making money in Nigeria and even in the world over. Thank you and bye-bye.